Hello, welcome to Crazy House World Championship. In a few moments, we're gonna watch blitzbullet versus opperwezen, and well, both players are very strong Crazy House players, so it will be very hard to call out the victor beforehand. Opperwezen, very creative player, is always looking for weird but sound ideas. Whereas blitzbullet is very good in defending his king, and then only then go after the opponent. So probably we will see some long games where the clock will play a big role. So there we go. They've started 10 games, and in case of 5-5 they won't play on, because in the candidates everyone plays the same amount of games. So then it's just a tie, and they both get 5 points added to their total board points. Yeah, so you can see Opper is rated 2630, blitzbullet is 2700, Opper is usually also near 2700, so reaching wise very close. Opper has the slight edge, but this might also be a lot of chess games there, so the head-to-head score is not really saying that much. Okay, and blitzbullet played the same idea against me as well, and he does this before, where you put the king in the corner and you really guard h3 many times, and sometimes you just play h3 and the queen or something like this won't really help, since there are two guarders of h3. And Opper just copied blitzbullet, but now it's probably not a good idea to copy anymore, since d5 was hanging. So c6 played, h3, and we might see blitzbullet taking here sometime soon, and then pawn g5. Maybe, oh, of course you can just make some useful moves first with white. Hey, it's okay, said H with the raid. Welcome guys. I think OK was streaming some recap of the Crazy House World Championship, if I'm not mistaken. So very nice of you to join us, OK, with Party of 10. We just started first game, and it's so far a very positional fight. Could talk a lot of minutes about the nuances here. Basically, both players are trying to reroute their pieces in such a way that they can control whenever trades start to happen. So example knight e3, and probably he's gonna play bishop e6 here. Those games were trash anyway. Okay, the finisher too strong for me that day. Hey Gingerbread, yeah, good to see you too. I've been very busy, but good. The good kind of busy, just work. So when I come home at night, usually I don't have the energy or will to stream, so that's why I'm not streaming that much last month. I could I'm not sure if it's on my side. Other people can tell as well. I can add some volume if necessary. Okay, so we saw this queen sacrifice for just one piece, but with kings as safe as this, it doesn't really matter, because you cannot really use the queen in such a way that you can create big chances. And the bishop will be just as useful to attack. The knight b5, I wonder what opera is going to do after c3, which is just a very useful move. And the knight is outplaced here. I'd rather see it going here at the right moment. Yeah, I was watching Sporting Ajax as well, but they seem to have it under control. So back to Crazy House indeed. Here, it's gonna try to create something. And here you can see why the queen is not that good. As soon as you drop the queen for defense somewhere, it will become a target. And attacking wise, you look at this setup he created in the first couple of moves. There's just nothing Opera can do at the moment. He just has to be patient, defend for a very long time. And here he's gonna get overrun on the dark squares. Bishop here, and he almost has to play knight at h7 or g8. So if you allow takes, then I have the feeling there's gonna go something wrong for black. And this is exactly what happened with, or not exactly, but something like this happened with me when I was playing blitzbullet. You have the feeling you maybe defend the position, but then you start to look at your clock and you have 20 seconds and you make some mistake, and then white is just actually better. And here white is winning the queen, because if you move the queen, there's rook h7 and pawn h5 checkmate. And still nothing here. So maybe rook h8. It's also nothing. There's no tricks. He has to drop the queen, and now he loses on time. Okay, he just made a move in time. He's gonna take everything. Yep, sorta. You can just take here, or you can play rook g7. And now knight f6, queen h7, bishop e7 is mate. Yeah, good luck beating blitzbullet with black. Okay, opperwezen not playing main lines. He doesn't feel like preparing that much, I think. He just enjoys playing the game, try to get original position. But that will also be blitzbullet's main go-to, just play something. With white he's gonna play his system, and if with black he can play his system, he will be happy as well. What you would say, why not just play c6 here? Because if pawn trades were happening here, in this position, let's say c6, take, Then pawn at g5 is very annoying, so that's why he played h6. Just allowed knight c3 with tempo. And you also not really want to take here because bishop takes c4. Already two bishops looking at your position. So I'd say opening stage goes to upper, this one. You can now just play d4 or knight d5 even, and has a very comfortable position. Knight d5 is probably even stronger because this is just losing a pawn. It's a bit far away. Okay. I've readjusted some. Should be better now, maybe. Let me know. This is gonna take 15 seconds or 20 because that's the delay, but hopefully it's good now. Yeah, doesn't look good. Maybe he's banking on knight takes d3 and this. But yeah, this is a very strong intermediate move. Knight takes e5. If the queen trade happens, mate is threatened here. This must be a bluff. Alright. Turn down the game volume some. And I added some volume to the mic. I'm not sure what's going on. Good. But alright, Opper is just enjoying this position and he's gonna find mate pretty soon. There we go. Queen e5 is even a possibility. Maybe a little bit too much. But for sure there's something here. Okay, and blitzbullet resigns. Rook d5, king d6 was there. So Opper is repeating, and that might be good. Hey, an entire sleeve. Welcome. Glad to do it. I seem to recall against blitzbullet I switched up at a certain moment. I stopped repeating, copying the g6, bishop g6, g7, and at one game I even had success score-wise, but also position-wise. I got some good positions against him. It seems to be the new meta, White Dancing Rockstar. Just put your king on h1, even in e4, e5 games, it's going there. guess it's easier to cover h3 that way. And you're less vulnerable against knight at h3 smothered mate attacks. I like how blitzbullet sacrificed the knight for 2 pawns. This is gonna be a repetitive thing, I guess, in this match, that I'm gonna say I like what blitzbullet did here, because we sort of play the same stuff. So I don't know if he also steals ideas from me, but I usually, if I see something he does and I haven't adapted it in my own game, I sometimes try it myself as well, just to see what happens. Here, pawn at g4 seems interesting. So it's gotta be something to look for. Knight takes and queen takes is fine, I guess. Bishop g5, just pawn at f4, and the queen is no longer in danger. Maybe he has bishop d2 planned. But then again, queen f3. Knight g5, he just take. It's queen d3, there's knight takes f2. He just takes on e4. There was a way of getting 2 pieces for the queen. And again, you see total control. And only the queen in hand, hard to attack with. Too bad, GMB. I guess CWC is 3-check World Championship, right? Do you have another chance? Or is it just 1 loss and you're out? Of course, bishop g2. This is dream position for blitzbullet. Probably evaluation is also good for him, but he'll take these any day. Just rook e1 or d1, yeah, and he's gonna play knight f4, knight h4, just pressure this till eternity. Maybe even bishop b1 now, so you can take on g6 with more force. This is a free move. Queen a6, keep covering g6. But at h7 and let's say pawn h5, what are you gonna do, black? It's just I think Operation needs to switch next game, next white game. Knight at g6 seems natural, but rook takes b1 also fine, but this is just clearly winning the queen. You can take h7, knight f6, and he's maybe alive. This I don't like, because now you probably allowed too much. But this is a problem. Blitzbullet is 2 minutes 30 seconds and Opera is just bleeding time trying to find the defense, and then he makes small error, you could say, because knight f6, and I'm not sure if Metin wins. I mean Blitzbullet wins. I saw Metin in the game chat. At e7 comes soon. never mind. He's just gonna pick up the queen. Now at f7, for example, yeah. It might not look the cleanest win, but it doesn't matter. He's winning this every game. However it was played. So e4 and blitzbullet playing e5 very quickly. Upper not going into main line tier 30. Just plays d4. So now plays queen takes d4. And knight c6, there's gonna be something like queen e3 or takes. Interesting. Really? Yeah, well, I was about to say this is probably made with knight takes c2. So I don't know about this decision from upper. I guess pawn e3 is fine. Keep the bishop open. Knight at d5 is sort of annoying. So black should be careful. But this looks indeed very bad for white. Okay, he's already spotted. Sharing his opinion. I tend to agree. So I wonder if he can take here. Knight takes e7 takes. Is there a mating threat? That's the question. For both sides actually. Knight takes d7, take, bishop at f1. And queen f8, take, rook g8, take the knight. I think it's not enough for white. So black should probably be fine. Maybe a move like a rook e5 I would play, because rook e5 was threatening to take here, forcing king takes, queen h1 and then pawn g2. It's doing sort of something similar. So now he's threatening to take, and then rook d1 for example, queen f1 ideas, or the other way around. And then white will only have queens to blockade with. So upper's going for this, he sort of has to, but I'm not really believing this. Or at least he felt that he had to. Rook takes, but that's sort of saying, okay, my position is weak, I'm trying to salvage it. It's not the end of the world, but black will have two queens in hand and one fake queen on the board. He's trying that one. But I guess you can just now take this. This is probably wrong. Rook g8, king here, bishop g5, king up, knight f3, king e4, knight c3, checkmate. So you had to take this. Okay, king instead of king e4, king d5, but still felt wrong. So here you have the choice blocking at f6 or playing f6. King move is just lost. Rook d8 will be made. And yeah, I like this as well because now you have this square to run to. And with with a lot of extra material, this is probably a bad choice, but here there's only the rook in hand. Yeah, this is over. Don't know if he had out the queen on, but it's just gonna be made very quickly. And Upper resigns before it happens. Yeah, I think his last chance was rook at g8 after he sacrificed the queen. Maybe queen at f8 was wrong, but I'm not sure. Okay. Upper is playing a more classical setup against Fianchetto. Just try to push with h4, h5 I mean. And with h5, white will try to eye this square. And well, yeah, I've had some battles in this type of position. I tend to play knight d4 here. I want to get rid of this bishop somehow. And maybe you can already play it here. Knight d4. h8, you take here in between. It's very risky. Queen trades, you have to calculate a lot. Maybe not worth it. But queen a4 in between. Maybe then you can play knight d4. This is at least in general principle you want to go after this bishop. How you're gonna do it, that's another story. Because this bishop is the key defender of the light squares, and the light squares is where you want to go right now. What's he doing with h3? Bishop takes. Ah, he has at g2 planned. And if you move the rook somewhere, he's gonna play h2, probably. Something like that. It's on Upper's mind. So, sort of in case of emergency move, you can maybe play knight h5 to block the rook. He's gonna play takes and then renew this bishop or pawn, remove the rook, and then put something on the h file again. But already you feel like Opper in this position with black has a lot more chances than he had in the previous two black games. And knight f3 is very nice, since you cannot take with the pawn, which is preferable. You have to take with the bishop, and now your whole plan is sort of gone. Because you're about to get mated if you aren't careful here. Maybe you already just pawn h2 and promote. Rook takes, rook takes. Looks interesting. Not completely necessary, but okay, now it's definitely a threat, as well as knight takes f3 in some lines. At g2 seems obvious. What's the move? Maybe something like at e2. At g2, at e2 a black, rook e1. Then knight takes f3, pawn takes f3. And you go at h2, and if king here, you have bishop f1 covered by this pawn. And the bishop covers the rook. A lot of arrows, but I hope you followed it. So blitzbullet tries this, but Opper just plays at g3, and here, yeah, just at g3 again, because the knight has no square and there's no way to cover the knight. Very nice. And these are the only moves, maybe, to cover the knight somehow. And yeah, Opper will take some time here, but he will find checkmate, I'm sure of it. Knight h3, knight takes, rook h1 is checkmate. Very pretty, you will find that. Yeah, nice. Alright, I saw it before Opper. I'll take that. Okay, e4, e5 again, and Opper repeating the last game, e5 he played here. And blitzbullet was happy with the position he got, apparently. And he felt like going for this again. Okay, it's blitzbullet deviating here, because last game he played queen e7. So at d7, just to disrupt the pieces. Knight takes f5 here, knight at g7, something, but queen e5 first, maybe. Queen e5, any move, bishop takes. I'm not so sure if it's that bad for white, but I think blitzbullet now is regretting this knight f5 move, whereas he played queen e7, the last game. And yeah, he got a good position. Okay, queen at d1 was also there. You have this, but you gave up the queen and you have to deal with knight at g7. So I'm not so sure about this one. I think Opper is happy here. Easy pickings. And for a pawn, blitzbullet is 4 pieces down. He's not even playing this on. Usually I advocate play on always in Crazy House, but it's understandable he resigned that position. Okay, early h5 again. Last game, blitzbullet didn't play like this. He left the knight on f3. And I usually like to play knight h4 against this, but this maybe also works. Problem here is that normally you create a position where black is also castled and it's just trying to do the same thing. But here black has a very clear plan of what to do. He's just going to push the h pawn, play something knight g4 for example, and just checkmate you. Yeah, I like how Opper is trying to do this. At g4 now probably. Just he's at g3 first. And then maybe at g4. More powerful. Now you can take on d4. If queen takes bishop c5. What's Opper thinking on? Maybe he has something else in mind. Bishop b4. I don't know. Yeah, he's taking on d4. It's just natural to open this diagonal. You can take the knight, but bishop at b6 is still there. Knight takes, knight takes, knight takes. This is very good. So probably knight takes f3. There's gonna be pawn knight takes. If you're gonna do it like this, now queen d7, just king f8. That's very cold. eyes in veins move, but it seems to work. Probably just take here, yeah. Is there a way for blitzbullet out of this? There's always bishop d7, king to either these squares, and then queen check. Pick up this. Also do this with the bishop. This queen here really made you. Probably does. Because just take the rook. It's not really an option to pick up the knight. Queen g2, queen takes f1, pawn f2, rook f1. Just repeat. Or he has to run like this, but hard time believing that. Blitzbullets, searching. c5, I guess he wants block take. Also it covers e3, which is an entry square for black. Alright. Did he miss queen g2? You can take the knight. Now you see the importance of the check. The upper is just gonna sacrifice everything. Rook f1. Take the bishop. At f2 first, okay. I guess king takes, bishop takes is just rook f1 immediately. King d2 forced, otherwise take an at g2, king d2, and the king runs here. I see a bishop here, okay. I forgot about that. Still mate. Yeah, he has him. He has to block here, and every blocker has his disadvantage. Maybe knight is best. No, still knight e4. The king goes here, rook h6 is made. So Opera takes 3 games in a row to go 4-3 ahead. I think blitzbullet is just from America. The United States of America to be exact. And do keep debating who the GOAT is. For sure. Go ahead. I'll read it and I don't know what's up with the mic. It says here that it has outcome. output, I should say. Okay, so we have an early a6 game, sort of the French game, but e6 hasn't been played yet. So that's usually what happens. White plays e6, disrupt everything. And here, yeah, moving the queen is something that takes king d8. So where does this go wrong? h5, probably too soon. Let's see how Opper is going about this game. Wonder why he didn't play. Okay, yeah, bishop e2 makes sense. Queen d2, d5 looked interesting as well. But maybe h4 is annoying. Here's just taking everything. Will you play knight e6 in between? It makes a lot of sense to try to navigate the knight here. At d7, if you take knight c5, it's almost over. Now maybe just promote to a knight, or just take the bishop in between. And queen takes c6 is a real threat here. And even queen takes d5. Opper is for sure thinking about it. Knight h3 wins the queen here. Pawn g2. Not a real follow-up. So he tries it the other ways around. Queen takes g2 is sort of forced. Or you have to make a check. But a check would all over here, pawn at b6 is fine. So I think he has to play this and take on d5. He's gonna play this. Maybe he saw some checkmating sequence for black with a pawn is useful. And white has a nice defensive idea here with bishop h3 and then looking at c8 as well. Okay, don't take here because there's for a smothered mate. Knight h3, queen g1, knight f2. So yeah, bishop g2, very good. And I think white's now in the driver's seat. Take the knight, I guess. Combination of knight and rook looks good here. If you could manage to take that. And also just a move like knight c3 if you get the time. Blitzbullet is fighting here. Playing strong game after a weird opening. Maybe bishop e6. A little bit too slow. But it felt necessary, yeah. Bishop e6. h4 was there, but it takes too many moves. Now maybe h4. This does nothing, so that's fine. Knight takes. Okay, goes for the other one. Did he spot some queen takes b6? Is that really working? Rook c7. Yeah, it must. Somehow. Or did he miss king a8? I was looking at king a8 and said, where is your mate? But there seemed to be enough pawns. Take, promote a7, knight takes b6. Promotes the rook. He wants the under promotion because that's a sort of a running gag. Sometimes the computer analysis, the standard stockfish analysis says you promoted to queen, that's a bad move. You should have promoted to rook. And same outcome. Nicely done, Upper, but after king a8 there wasn't an immediate sequence. That scared me for a little bit. Here I usually welcome bishop takes c2 in these lines. But usually when I play this, my knight's still on f3, so I can play knight h4 here, threatening the bishop, forcing bishop takes c2 sort of, and then I just take, and take two pieces for the king, for the queen. Now it seems like he can safely take, yeah. And blitzbullet is just gonna give up his queen here. Probably, yeah, you don't take it immediately. Don't really like how blitzbullet did this. For using Crazy House World Championship to farm rating, yeah, it seems so. But yeah, again, what I was mentioning in the earlier games, this is problematic if Upper spends too much time here. But that's the point of the strength of this setup. You just don't have an easy way and you need time to get through, usually. And whereas I sometimes watch up that, blitzbullet is exceptionally well in defending this system. Thank you, Hercules. I don't want to become famous. Then I don't have time to watch these brilliant discussions about who's best. And Yasugi's name is almost never mentioned. Let's see, 6. Okay. 94. Okay. It's looking to get rid of this bishop somehow. But just 97. Massive trades, and then bishop at f6, I guess. Or already. Let's say queen moves. Probably 94 first. There's also always this idea of grabbing a couple pawns. Opera defending well so far. Probably knight takes h6 now. And now it's over. I thought he was doing okay a couple moves back, but that's the problem. The time wasn't there. So blitzbullet fights back after 4 losses. And don't play a6. Yeah, okay, nice. That's later. Ooh, queen h4. Will they have studied the finisher clear cast? I guess not. It's probably, if you look at the opening database, or Explorer as it's called on VChess, you will see some games with the finisher and I at this position. Where I now I can no longer play it against the finisher because he knows what to do. And I, of course, don't know what to do. But the piece for the pawn, which is what black basically does here, it's not so bad, because if you keep trades at a minimum, then you should be alright. An interesting move to play here might be king d1 at the right moment. Okay, he's going for castle. So you want to force trade of bishops, and then bishop at g5 is devastating. So you would like to take with the pawn. There might be some downsides. And also bishop at f6 is a move, so tough position. You need some force here, maybe at f3. Take all and then pawn e4, something like that maybe. Because the black king is in trouble if you're too slow. Hey, Tubrok, for 1800 strength. goes for that d3 in the end. Maybe same principle. You want to create something. Yeah, at f6 even now. Because if you take, you just take the queen. Opera is commenting on the game now himself. G5. But I don't know. Why not? Take is bad, I'd say. Knight takes f6. Okay. Guess I'm being corrected. Very natural to play knight takes e4 here, as well as this move. Queen h5 maybe. Maybe a little bit too slow. I don't know, I think knight takes e4 here. Point is take, and queen e7 mate. The upper is trying to get the bishop away tactically. Now a move like knight f4. You have to worry about this one. Blitzbullet has some time here, 25 seconds left. Could still go for 5-5. This is always so hard, where to go with the king, which square you want to go. e2 is bad, it's knight f4, but here you might allow bishop f4 later on, which is a problem. Here you had to go here, otherwise maybe some f1 later. With forks. 10 seconds though. Okay, he covers h7. The time is problematic, but aside from that, I think blitzbullet still has a decent chance. Bishop a3 comes at b4. It's just taking. It's an easy 4 seconds again. Knight at f5 now, maybe. Probably not. If operator just stays above 10 seconds, he should win. Yeah, there he goes already. He wins on time. Well done, opperwezen 6-4. This was very nice. Opper struggling a bit in the beginning, but then this game was very important where he decided to switch strategies, and he went for a quick h5 against the fianchetto, and then he found this beautiful checkmate in the end, which you can see on the board. King g1, and he had another pawn. Alright, very nice one. This was a strong match, guys. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. I hope you enjoy chatting with each other about who's the best player. In a few months, I think we'll have at least some conclusions on that. Tomorrow, I will play against Doc Answer at 1 p.m. my time. You can check it here, I added it. And in the right bottom corner you can change it to your time zone, and then you can see what time it is in your country, but it will be in 14 hours. So maybe someone will stream that and I will see you there. And I lost my first 2 matches, but then I won my first one. So I'm now 1 match up and 2 matches down. So far so good for me. We'll see how I do tomorrow. Have a good day, night, wherever you are. Thanks for watching, guys. And let's go to Pepe. Bye bye, guys.